Can we all agree that Periscope has been absolutely killing it with the content updates recently? From the roadmap to the 4.21 update, to the Chapter 2 teaser and now the Chapter 2 reveal? I mean, seriously, if I didn't know better, I'd mistake this dedicated indie team for a AAA dev squad. All that said, here's everything we know about Scriptum Chapter 2 Plan Jaune so far. Oh, and forgive the awful French throughout this video. Flash out. Like many of you guys, I watched the reveal trailer for Chapter 2 live on the YouTube premiere. Before long, we all realized that the rumors were true. The battle for France 1940 was coming to Scriptum. As I started to parse through the details of the video itself, I noticed that I had received an email from none other than Snazzy Duckling, our favorite Scriptum community manager. Somehow, Snazzy has managed to confuse me with the likes of bigwig gaming content creators, and he threw me a bone. And some sweet insider images and info on Chapter 2. Here's what he said. Greetings, fellow creator. We Periscope Games are a bunch of individuals that some years ago set to create the next best standard in the World War II large-scale battle platform. Firstly, known as a modding group for Squad, our ambition and expectation for Scriptum rapidly made us realize that we would have to create our own studio in order to fulfill this vision of ours. After 1 year of development, Scriptum is a World War II tactical first-person shooter that became known for its immersive soundscape, gritty action, and teamwork. He then went through a bunch of the features of the game as we all know and love right now, and then he went on to the latest expansion. He said, take a look at our most recent trailer that showcases the newest theater coming to Scriptum, Plan Jaune. We'll cover the invasion of France in 1940 with new factions, including the Germans of 1940 and the French army, as well as 3 maps, one of them which are going to come at a later date, and then 2 of them which we already know about. For access to exclusive images, please access the press kit that is attached to this email. My guys, homie gave me press kit access, and you're going to enjoy all those images. They're on the screen right now. In it, there are images of one of the maps called Stone, and a few French vehicles. Plan Jaune itself is a French translation of Fall Gelb, or Case Yellow, in which the armored forces of Germany pushed through the Ardennes to encircle and cut off the British and French troops during the operation to invade France in 1940. More news of it is coming very soon, along with a special invite to participate in a first look event. Guys, a special invite to participate in a first look event. I'm blushing. No word on that event yet, but as soon as I get it, I'll absolutely let you guys know, and I hope to be able to share all that content with you. So naturally, I did some research. Turns out that Plan Jaune is a reference to the Manstein Plan, which was the German name for their plan to invade France in 1940. It was also known as the Yellow Plan, or in French, Plan Jaune. The first dev blog revealed even more details about the expansion, saying that it'll bring you 3 maps. One of them is coming after launch, and then it'll also introduce the French army and the German army of 1940, along with countless new weapons and vehicles, and I'm going to show some of those as we go through the video. The first map, which is featured in the reveal trailer, is the map of Stone. One of the 2 new maps that you're getting with the launch Chapter 2 is this small village. It's located about 40 kilometers south of the Ardennes. The village of Stone became infamously known by how dangerous the French Char B-1 tank was in combat. Specifically, one man made a name for himself, Captain Pierre Biot, who commanded the thickly armored Ur tank, which sustained several attacks of the German offensive during May of 1940. This tank specifically destroyed 13 German tanks of the Panzer III and IV variant, as well as taking over 140 hits from the German tanks and anti-tank guns and surviving the battle. The town itself exchanged hands between the French and the Germans 17 times during 2 days of struggle for control of the city. Stone itself is composed of a destroyed village in its center, large open fields for armored advantage, and rolling hills to provide more important strategic points for infantry forces. As is quite often the case in Scriptum, combined arms coordination will be the key for one of the teams to prevail. So it's pretty clear that the trailer for Stone features Captain Pierre Biot going through and doing this incredibly heroic deed of facing down all these German tanks and coming out somehow, though scratched, still fully intact. And that's what we're looking forward to in the Battle of Stone. The second map that was announced some days later, which you see on the screen right now, is the map of Dinant. The Dinant is located north of the Ardennes forest in Belgium and took part in the fighting to defend Belgium to stop the German advance across the River Meuse. The city saw considerable combat between the French and the Belgian forces against the German panzer divisions, including Rommel's 7th Panzer Ghost Division, as they would become nicknamed. After the battle, Dinant itself lay in ruins and was a shell of its former self. This is represented in game by how destroyed the city looks. there will be intense house-to-house fighting in the narrow streets of Jaune, as well as close-quarters combat within the citadel that sits atop the mountain that looms over the city. The German army is not new to Postscriptum or Plan Jaune, but they have had their uniforms updated to be accurate to the time period of 1940. This also means that they have lost some of their famous equipment that was featured in Chapter 1, such as the STG-44, the Panzerfaust, the Panzerschreck, the G-41, 43, the MP-40, and of course, Hitler's buzzsaw, the MG-42. Now, Jaune looks really interesting because it's also got some of this subterranean stuff going on. So there's tunnels and there's all this underground fighting that is potentially going to happen. I think that we can reasonably assume that Jaune was what was featured in the teaser to Chapter 2 that we all saw some months ago. I couldn't be more excited for Chapter 2, and candidly, the Battle of France is obscure to me, and the introduction of new factions, maps, weapons, and the theater I'm otherwise unfamiliar with is a welcome one. I can't wait to explore the inevitably gritty and asymmetric nature of the clash between the early war Brits, French, and German soldiers. And so when is Chapter 2 coming? Well, we don't know. But what we do know is that, as I've predicted time and again, Postscriptum continues to thrive. Performance enhancements from the 4.21 update, as well as the introduction and announcement of all of this new content, has led to a steady and healthy growth of the player base. Even now, we're enjoying daily peaks in excess of 1,000 concurrent players. If you aren't playing Postscriptum yet, you should be. And if you are playing, you should be in my Discord. So yeah, let's do some gunning together. Check the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.